Hello, everyone. This is Kelly Beard of KarmicTools.com, and this is your weekly forecast for October 27th through November 2nd of 2019. So the 27th opens our week with the Scorpio new moon. This Scorpio new moon is really powerful for seeding your deepest soul-level desires. This is an annual opportunity to return to the infinite void, a conception point, and set some completely new intentions. There is also additional energy available at this time from your invisible team of support, that is your own angels, ancestors, and animal spirit guides who walk with you now and always. This new moon opens a portal of sorts, one that allows us to align with the ultimate power of transformation, which is transcending the current form, on an individual level as well as on social collective levels. And because the form is being seeded at this time, you may not exactly know what the logistics are, but you can connect with the essence of what you want to co-create. So we're at that conception point. We're conceiving something. It's not tangible yet, but this is activating a whole one-year process that we've just come through, so you can reflect on what you were able to actually create and manifest in the last year, and that acts as compost for this new moon. It's a powerful new moon to co-create with, and a powerful time of year to do this kind of co-creation. Connecting to that essence of what you want to create, you want to connect to the essence of what you want to feel, the essence of what you want your earthly experience to be. Connect to that essence. Connect to the level of authentic power that your individual system can handle at this time. Connect to that which you want to bring to life, that which you want to bring from invisible form into visible form, in a way that serves you and benefits others while harming none. Then do your power wishes or Scorpio intentions around initiating another annual cycle of transformation and manifestation. We are expanding the possibilities as we speak that enable us to combine our deepest core values with our most expanded vision for humanity, one soul at a time. So deep breath. Anytime we're dealing with Scorpio, we're also dealing with Taurus. I like to tell folks to feel into that one as if Taurus is the garden, the physical garden of our lives that we co-create with throughout our lives. But Scorpio is the breath of God that breathes life into that garden. So they work together. We never want to really consider one without the other. They are related. So this new moon asks us to get congruent with our inner and outer selves and renew our commitment to positive change. All of this speaks to the new realms emerging in place of all that has crumbled in recent years. Many sprouts of your hard work are breaking ground, and if not, I suspect that a clearing is in the works, so it won't be long, so hang in there. As you're setting your new moon intentions, consider how you feel about Pluto issues, that is death, power, sex, and money, among other things. Renew your dedication to holding your own structure, owning your inner authority, and directing your personal power in new and better ways. All of that is getting an upgrade thanks to the current alignments in the sky pattern. So holding your own structure, owning your inner authority, and directing your personal power, all getting an upgrade, all ready to be done in new ways. So I would add here that it is also the time of year when we do the most readings and consulting with the ancestors, because it is the time when we ask for clarity on all that has gone before so that we can make the best decisions about how to go forward with their blessing. An underworld journey of sorts that is available and customized for each of us, but I am happy to guide and support you as you navigate your own. I'm finding that I have to schedule integration time these days, but it's so rich and potent at this conception point that I don't want to miss out on any of that energy either. So feel free to reach out if you feel called, and we will connect in sacred time and divine order. So our activations for the week, first we have the new moon. We open the week with the new moon. We close with the Mercury retrograde, both in Scorpio. In between, we have some very important personal alignments. Mars squaring off with Saturn. Okay, this is Libra to Capricorn. This is who we are and what we want in our relationships, being pushed to grow out of comfort zone into new territory, in the reality that we're living. We can no longer fake the funk in a lot of ways. And so keeping it real in relationships is happening across the board, whether they're personal or professional for that matter. But in this dynamic, it's all about who you are and what you want and what you're willing to be responsible for, what structure you're willing to hold and maintain and take care of. And so that's what they're working out. This is energy and stamina, trying to figure out how to produce something. So it doesn't have to be a negative, bad thing because it is a square, but it is a push to grow. So this is the energy of action being restricted and the anger or frustration that follows. We can all feel that. You can either be angry and feel restricted, limited, and unable to move, or you can see this energy as an opportunity to define the right actions to take and strategically plan to take them later when the universe is more supportive. This energy requires us to slow down and double-check the plan, whatever that is. If you proceed consciously, your plan has a better chance of success than if you were reckless and impatient. You may experience a blockage of some sort, internal or external. You may feel this tremendous urge to change or move forward in your life, but seem to find blockages and limitations with every effort. That is likely your perception, not necessarily the reality. So better to ask yourself if you somehow feel inadequate to the task at hand, or what are you afraid of? Fear is false evidence appearing real, so release the fear and choose to be responsible for creating your life. If you don't, your outer circumstance only becomes a reflection of your inner belief. You will attract criticism and repel support. Nobody wants to do that. Take your grand vision and figure out 3 small steps you can take on this restricted level that is still taking you in the direction of your goal. Don't try to initiate at this time. This is a time for cultivating, planning, working behind the scenes, doing the detail and foundational work, what some people call the grunt work, that is absolutely necessary to support the grand vision when the time comes to fully express it, okay? So again, like I said, we're bringing Mars energy to Saturn's practicality, and let's take the steps, and there's a step-by-step process to building something that will last. If we skip any of those steps, things seem to fall apart. So in this context, it's the individual within the context of the relationships or the community, and it's also, like I said, who you are and what you want in relationship and how much you're willing to be responsible for and hold space for. So that's a big one, and personal and social. How we interact with others is coming up in this one. Then on the 28th, we have the Sun opposing Uranus. So again, this is a personal, super personal, individual planet across from a collective planet. This is good, I think, when we can access energy like Uranus and Taurus is once in 84 years. So it's going to stimulate, then liberate and awaken that Taurus house in your chart, wherever that may be. So across the way now, while the personal planets are in Scorpio, like the Sun, we're getting this delicious stimulation that we can use on a personal level, even though Uranus is really moving a great number of us along all at the same time. So always with Uranus, you want to be ready for surprises. Your routine may be disrupted by you or others. Could be either way. Now is not the time to be practical, nor is it the time to make huge decisions. What it is best for is experimenting with alternative modes of expression. A part of you undergoes a mini transformation under this energy's influence because it wakes up a part of you that is requiring expression now. You may not recognize it right away, but you have changed. You are a new you, and it's time that you acknowledge that fact so everyone else can too. What I'm going to add to this is what I have been saying all along. I feel like on a personal level, Uranus and Taurus is awakening the body for us, awakening our awareness of the value of Mother Earth's body and how related and connected to each other we are. We are all one organism, and so the health and well-being of one absolutely influences the other. So this is one of those times where you can look on the micro level, the Sun in Scorpio, and reset some things, claim a new vision, commit to a new way of creating your life and awakening something in your body that can help and support you. That is not always possible, and everybody doesn't get to do it. So if you have that energy activated in your chart, or you're feeling like you're being supported in this evolution, take advantage of the energetic support that's there for you. And then on the 30th, which is Wednesday, we have Mercury conjuncting Venus. So they're in the same space, initiating a new cycle of creativity and communication and expression. This is a powerful new beginning. So again, we're seeding these things in the zone as Mercury gets ready to turn retrograde the very next day. So important to recognize that. I'm going to talk a little bit more about what that's all good for in a minute, but let's just say the week supports this kind of processing, and next week, the next couple of weeks, you are truly supported in this Scorpio realm to do some deep diving. So like I said earlier, I think I said on this one to schedule some downtime. Schedule yourself some space so that you don't have any other obligations. Try to catch a moon void of course. Those are good times to go into your realm, your personal individual realm, and do a little digging around that this Mercury in Scorpio is really good for. So remember, keep in mind it's still a conception point, and this new beginning that Mercury and Venus can bring together can help you, let's say, reset your magnetics in a really delicious way that is worth co-creating with, or worth setting the intention at least. And tying all this week is so powerful, you guys. So create some space for yourself for this new moon and all the potency that goes with it. So Mercury and Venus together, and generally initiating a new cycle, this energy encourages you to see the divine order or the unifying theme running through the events of your life, good, bad, or indifferent, as well as past, present, and future. This is an initiation of new values around communication, self-expression, as well as the value of your ideas. So this is a reset, like I said earlier, in the creativity department. You may finally be able to express ideas that have been percolating in your head for a while now, or some people will say, I love you at this time, or articulate their feelings in deeper, more expressive ways. It's a really juicy time for your inner artist because it's the beginning of expressing your creative ideas in altogether new and different ways than ever before. Allow your imagination to free flow. Play with ideas with no attachment to outcome. Take advantage and explore all that this energy stirs within you, but don't give in to overthinking or overprocessing things. These connections are richer, giving you access to deeper personal growth and development through a new understanding of how all the events of your life work together for good, ultimately. You can see the necessity of certain challenges and clearly see your own personal mastery thus far. So celebrate and choose to create some new thought patterns that integrate and reflect more beauty throughout your life. Okay? So we're upgrading the way we express ourselves according to our new values and priorities, and also to the new things that we're attracted to and magnetized by and inspired by. So awakening that. Now, again, like it said, there's not really time for action as we're warming up to the Mercury retrograde. Like I said, this is a processing time, and it's processing on a soul level. So you need to create some really good boundaries for that, and possibly even a support system, whether it's a buddy that you can reach out to or a mentor. The Mystic Mentor is available, and my new website is almost done, you all, so I'm, keep you posted on that. And so we have the final thing in our week is Halloween. 31st is Mercury retrograding in Scorpio. So Mercury's going to retrograde on October 31st and go direct November 20th, and it doesn't enter Sagittarius until December 9th. So this is the little timeline we're on. That's why I said all of October and November we're in this deep delving place. And so we're completely supported to do this processing, and it's actually really magical for the Scorpio Gate of Power that's coming up November 7th. So Mercury lingering in Scorpio is asking us all to do a little processing and integration in that area of life, which would be the house in your chart that Scorpio rules. It is time to process things in a different way, look at life from a different perspective, and review the last quarter, meaning 3 months minimum. Mercury retrograde is best for activating different filters for everything. Detach and considerate personal research. I'd remind you here that Mercury retrogrades 3 to 4 times per year. It's an excellent time to turn all your inquiry and expression inward and reflect on how your mental body is doing. It is a delicious practice to get into scheduling your personal processing times to coincide with the Mercury retrograde, especially when in signs that directly affect you, because then it is personal. This year, my Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio babies will have some extra processing to do, but for the rest of us, the process still happens, but you will want to look to the houses in your chart to find the areas of life being activated for you personally. It's not listed anymore, but I still do a special Mercury retrograde reading if you ever want to dive deeper with me. For instance, 2019 is an all-water year, 2020 is going to be a combo of water and air, and 2021 will be Mercury will retrograde in all air signs. So this happens every 5 to 6 years when Mercury will activate in one element, so you can loosely track your own mental evolution. This year, 2019, was primarily in the water signs. March in Pisces, July in Cancer with a dip to 4 degrees of Leo, and now November is all Scorpio. The last time we had a water year with Mercury retrograde like this was 2013. So you may want to gauge your emotional maturity over that time, the cultivation and execution of your ideas, thoughts, and concepts, what you've learned, and in this case, Scorpio. What have you learned about your own personal power to create your world? What do you think about your sex life at this time? How are you making yourself more valuable to the team so you can establish more financial stability? And what mental attitude has run its course and needs to die so a new mental attitude can live and thrive in real time? So things to remember about Mercury retrograding in Scorpio. 1, it's a conception point in some way, shape, or form. You are conceiving a new way of thinking, perceiving, and processing what you're learning as you navigate the year. So this bullets list is in the blog for those of you that may want to print it out. The next one is shadow work of any kind is deeply supported for the rest of the year and particularly fruitful under this influence of Mercury retrograding through Scorpio. The next one says it's time to activate your inner detective and choose to investigate with no judgment on what you discover. You are merely gathering information on your own mind, your mental body, mentality, how you think, express yourself, and process the world around you. Also, it's time to communicate on a soul level and connect with your deepest emotions, face your fears, research taboos, dig out secrets that are growing toxic, and renew your connection to your own soul. Very powerful work. And again, I'm here to help. If you need support in the mentoring department, that's what it's all about. Here we sometimes access our own unique, raw truth, which is more or less challenging depending on your individual nature. But remember, you are not only uncovering the dark, negative ideas, thoughts, and concepts, but once certain things are brought into the light of conscious awareness, they can be transformed or transmuted. So the energy is liberated and freed up to be useful elsewhere. So too will you find your own buried treasure, hidden potential, or untapped resources you have yet to consider. So it's that raw truth that you can't be afraid of looking at deeply and feeling it deeply and then coming to your own conclusions about what it means for you and how that particular raw truth can be medicine and can help you and support you. Also, anytime in the Scorpio realms, we have to acknowledge our own shadow. So I suggest giving it something to do so it doesn't undermine your evolution in toxic, repetitive patterns. So that's an old Kellyism. I would always say give shadow something to do, otherwise it gets restless and it causes trouble. So when you ignore things for too long, they bubble up and cause problems, and that's the Scorpio realm. So usually the things that we bury and avoid and postpone are food, sex, or money, power, all of those different things that are totally intrinsic to being human and being on the planet, but that Western culture has not developed good protocols for. So it's not healthy at this moment. So we all have some healing to do on some level. So that's why I said shadow work of any kind that you're willing to do, any little bit you're willing to do goes a long way. So this is also, last two, a good time to reclaim the power of your mind. Deep breath. That's really important right now because there are some energies and entities around that would like to control the masses in a way that is really not healthy. So what are you allowing to influence your thoughts and ideas? It's time to reset to your original blueprint and start fresh in some way. So like I said, this is a conception point. This is getting back to your original creativity, your true, authentic creativity that wants to be expressed at a higher level. So remembering also the last one, because you can't do without this one, Mercury and Scorpio, the creative as well as destructive power of language. So it's definitely time for everyone to renew their language or learn a new language altogether. But definitely an upgrade in how we express ourselves and how we express that reality shifting after you've contacted raw truth. Like, think of that. Once you've been awakened to a higher level of truth, your reality is never the same again. So there's a process of integration at this new level that's required. So that is our week. Like I said, there's a lot of energy and a lot of support, and reach out if you need to. We have that Scorpio Gate of Power coming up. November 7th is the official day, but it's also known as Access the Ancestors, All Souls Day, All Saints Day, the Day of the Dead, Samhain, many other names around the world and cultures that celebrate the life-death-life process. So this is a time when we honor the death aspect of that never-ending cycle. It is an important aspect of life, and it is my favorite time of year in the Northern Hemisphere. So even if you're in the Southern Hemisphere where it may be spring, it is still Scorpio time during October, November. So we can all honor this season as a season of change and renewal. I'm happy to host a free telecircle if there is any interest, so feel free to email me and let me know. The actual day of the Gate of Power is November 7th, but I can physically do a call Friday evening if you all want to get together and celebrate the last of the 8 sacred seasons of this year. On Friday, November 8th at 8 p.m., 8 or 9, whatever works for people, please reach out. If 10 or more of you respond, I will create the necessary links and notify you in next week's forecast how to register for a free call on the Gate of Power. I would love to do that. It's been a while since we've done that together. So we will celebrate. We'll check in with the energetic support for the rest of the year and get us ready for winter solstice, and do some divinations. Like I said earlier, this is the best time to do a lot of inquiry. If you're talking to your angels, ancestors, animal spirit guides, either way, you have a whole invisible team of support that is available to you and for you. And this is the time where we get to ask them questions to help us wrap up the last year of our lives and prepare to initiate a completely new one. And this is a good time and space to let go of the past, prepare for the new, and just get okay with endings. Like I said, Western culture doesn't have good grief protocols to help us end certain things. When we have an end of the day, after every single day we have sunrise and sunset. We have these little mini births and little mini deaths all along the way that are completely natural, nothing to get upset about, nothing to postpone or deny or suppress, none of that. Like I said, working with the seasons is what we do. So I would love to do that in a group setting. That is when real magic happens. We come together and add our light and expand that light across the globe, because we really are international in this circle too. So I love that about us, and I look forward to connecting. If not then, for sure, you know Shanta and I will do something for winter solstice. So stay in touch and reach out if you'd like to dive a little deeper into your own chart and your own blueprint to see what's going on and where that energetic support is for you personally. All right, everyone. Have a great week. Thanks so much for listening.
This is Kelly Beard of KarmicTools.com, and I am so grateful for your time, energy, and support. Please share this with those you think would resonate, and reach out if and when you need to. Kelly at KarmicTools.com. The goal of my weekly forecast is to alert you to the energies and activations that we're all experiencing and the possibilities for conscious co-creation as an individual. Awareness of the energies is the first key, but I invite you to take it to the next level by checking out my readings, telecircles, and subscriptions, which are all geared toward individual support that helps you understand your own unique blueprint. My specialty is cycles and patterns, and I love helping people figure out their own within the context of the social and collective rhythm. To some, working with their own cycles and patterns is a completely new and foreign concept, but there are many planetary cycles that coincide with natural life cycles that allow us to co-create in mystical as well as practical ways. I create custom tools that I have tried and tested myself for over 30 years, and I do the work alongside my circle every time. So I hope you will reach out if you feel called to dive deeper into your own soul's natural rhythm. Talk to you soon. One love.